I'd just like you to allow yourself to get comfy. As I say, if you're listening to this now or if you're listening to it on repeat and you're not in a safe and appropriate space to get really relaxed and talk to your unconscious mind, then just do it another time. You take care of yourself, you know what to do. And what I'd like you to do is just take a few moments to center yourself, to be here, to breathe. So whatever it is you're putting down as comments, as things that you want to resolve and deal with, just hold them in your mind. And at the same time, just breathe. Notice your breathing. Now, breathing is really important. It's central to so many practices. One of the things, somebody just asked me a question about anxiety. It's central to anxiety and calmness. When people are calm, they breathe very differently from when they're anxious. Anxious breathing is fast, calm breathing is slower, and that affects the spine, the sympathetic nervous system, oxygenation levels, carbon dioxide levels, acidity, alkalinity, all sorts of things. So just start by breathing. Notice how full your breathing is, which bits move, which bits don't. And then as you do, I'd like you to come on a journey with me. And for you to just imagine you're on a magic carpet and you're floating up, all the way up to where beautiful white fluffy clouds are. And there you can just choose a really comfortable cloud to recline in, to feel the softness and kindness of the cloud. And as you do, you can gently, comfortably make out the world beneath you. And you can think for a minute about your unconscious mind. So your unconscious mind is the part of you that takes care of business, takes care of the plumbing systems, central heating systems, the refuse collection, pretty much everything, all the stuff that would need to happen in a city. Your unconscious mind takes care of in your body so that you can stay well and healthy. And it does that just simply without you really having to do very much. So we can notice that, for instance, when you sleep deeply tonight, as you go to bed, your breathing will continue, your heart will beat, your temperature will be regulated, you'll turn over a few times, you may even wake up if you need to go to the loo. That's all managed by your unconscious mind. It takes care of you. When you climb stairs, it alters your blood pressure. When it's hot, it cools you down. When it's cold, it warms you up. Back in the day, in the Freudian model, they used to think of the unconscious mind as a kind of slightly weird, dark, dodgy thing. But in more modern ideas, so Erickson and more humanistic approaches, they see the unconscious mind as our friend, the wise part of us, the part that just gets on with business, takes care of things for us. And we can notice it in our lives where maybe we're really thinking to recall the name of somebody or the name of a song or a movie, and we just can't remember that name. It's on the tip of our tongue. We just think and think and think in a conscious way, just can't find it. Then maybe half an hour or an hour later, pops into our mind. Our unconscious mind has processed that. And there is some interesting research about this, that if you give someone a task and then ask them to stop doing the task and then give them another task. If the task is quite boring, when they come back to the original task, they'll be slightly better at it. Their brain will have thought a bit more about it. So actually downtime, trusting your unconscious mind, can be really useful, really important. It's also the part of us that when we're asleep and we set our alarm for say 7:30, that at 7:29 and 59 seconds, it just wakes up. It knows how to do that. It knows how to keep time. It does all this kind of stuff. That's the part of you that you're paying attention to right now. And the interesting thing about the unconscious mind is it's always listening. And in this particular chat, although I've been talking to your conscious mind, those of you who've done any training with me will also notice I've been talking to your unconscious mind too. Because that's the part of you that is going to help you find new solutions to things that for a long time you've wondered, how will I find a way through it? So as you float down from that beautiful cloud, I'd like you to imagine you're entering a beautiful garden. Everything about this garden is just the way you like it to be. The garden has all the qualities, all the colours, all the shapes that you really like. And as you enjoy being here in this garden, noticing the features, the temperature, how it feels to plant 1 foot, toes, sole and heel, as you walk 1 foot after the other. And over there you see an area that looks so nice, a place that would be so beautiful and relaxing to rest in. So I'd like you to just go there now and allow yourself to relax and calm even more, knowing that this is a process that you used to know how to do very, very well. Maybe you need to learn it a bit more. Just like watching the waves rolling onto the shore and back again. Your whole being can just rest. And you think about how many times those waves have rolled onto that shore. How many thousands of years have they gently rolled up and rolled down? Or maybe you think about the earth just gently turning. Year upon year, just turning. How the stars out there, far, far, far away, sending light from maybe hundreds and thousands of millions of years. And we are just here, And I'd like you to just turn your attention inside and to connect with that aspect of you that knows things. It knows how to cool you down if it's too hot, or how, when you climb the stairs, to make your heart beat a little faster, or when you sleep, to breathe. I'd like you to also think about those times in your life where you've really been in touch with your inner knowing. It may have been around some other people where you thought, something's not right here, I can just sense it. You're picking up on some signals. Or it may be you have an intuition that your friend needs help and you phone them and you find they do. It's a time when you just kind of got in touch with that ability you have to see a slightly bigger picture, to be in touch with that sense of your inner knowing. And as you do, feel that feeling, connecting with that sense for you of being connected with yourself. And from this beautiful place, in this beautiful garden, just observe the issues and challenges happening over there from this place of thoughtfulness and inner wisdom. And notice what starts to come up for you as potential avenues for solutions, or maybe ways of being. So if the issue is difficult people or neighbours, thinking, well, with reflection, what would really help me? Because they're probably not going to change. Or if the issue is, I really need to be more calm, from this place of reflection and trusting yourself, being kind to yourself, thinking, well, what could I do to really help myself to step into these moments in a different way, from a different place? If I really come from this peaceful place that I'm in at the moment, how will that transform my ability to feel and see and perceive these events and myself differently? And once upon a time, there was a monastery in the middle of the countryside, far away from villages and towns. And at one time the monastery was very busy. People were fascinated by spiritual and religious practices, but over the recent decades, people seem to be less interested in following a spiritual path. And the monks became older, and they began to worry as to what would happen to their monastery. It just so happened that every summer a rabbi used to come and camp in the forests near the monastery, and he was good friends with the abbot. And he was considered to be a wise man. So the monks suggested to the abbot that he go find his old friend, the rabbi, and ask him if he had any brilliant ideas. Maybe they thought he'll have a catchy tagline or a social media program or something that would suddenly make people interested. Maybe they could produce a product, cheese or wine, that would move things forwards again. So the abbot wandered into the forest, and there, deep within the forest, in a place he didn't expect to find him, sat the rabbi. And they sat down and shared some tea that was cooked under the stars and over the hot fire. And they chatted about this and that, and the abbot began to explain his problems, challenges and issues. And the rabbi nodded wisely and sagely. And he said, I'm not really sure that I can add anything to the ideas you've already come up with. And he sipped his tea, and then he had this kind of faraway look in his eye. Stillness descended. And the abbot said, "Are you okay?" to the rabbi, who didn't really answer, just went quiet, was breathing, stilled. And then the rabbi turned to the abbot and very calmly and in a slightly different, wiser voice than usual said, "One of you is the Messiah. One of you is the Son of God." And the abbot was surprised at this, and he said, "What do you mean?" And the rabbi kind of came back to the moment and said, "What do I mean? What?" He said, "Well, you went into this kind of calm space and said this strange message." And the rabbi said, "I'm sorry, I have no memory of this whatsoever. I was just having a cup of tea." And then he said, "What do I mean?" The abbot said, "You said one of us is the Messiah, is the Son of God." The rabbi said, "Sorry, I really don't remember saying that at all, but maybe it's a message." So they chatted some more, and soon it was time for the abbot to return to the monastery, and he pondered as he wandered back through the trees on this message he had heard. Because you can hear messages in many different ways, different places. Can you not? And when he reached the monastery, the monks were eager to hear the news, what the rabbi had suggested, but slightly disappointed to find there was no product to sell, no social media campaign in the offing. The abbot said, it just went quiet, and then he said in this strange, faraway and wise voice that the Messiah is one of us, the Son of God is one of us. And then when he came back, he didn't seem to remember it. It was very peculiar. The monks chatted amongst themselves about this, and they all kind of pondered it, wondered what the meaning of it was. The next morning, I sat down to breakfast. I had a few hours to think about the message, as you do when you're alone at night, thinking. And you could almost sense a difference as they sat down for breakfast. Each one of them seemed to be looking at the other one with a slightly different set of thoughts. So if you were able to listen in to their internal conversations, you would have heard something like, well, there's Brother Michael over there, he's a bit boring, to be honest. He couldn't be the Son of God. If the Messiah is upon us, surely it couldn't be Brother Michael. God would have chosen someone slightly more interesting than him. And I thought, well, maybe it's a test. This kind of thing what God would do, make it tough for us. So maybe I should be kinder to Brother Michael just in case he is the Son of God, because you wouldn't want to be rude to him if he was. I looked at the next monk and said, well, he doesn't wash very much, he's a little bit smelly, a bit whiffy. But, again, this could be one of God's little tests. Maybe he's the Son of God. And they went round the table thinking of everything they knew about these people and how, they were flawed in interesting, fascinating ways. But maybe, just maybe, they could be the Son of God. And finally, having gone through the assembled company quietly to themselves, they went back for meditation and prayers on their own, and the thought struck them that maybe, this couldn't be, this must be a crazy thought, but maybe it's me, maybe I'm the Messiah. I couldn't be sure I would know if I was, but maybe again this is one of God's strange tricks. Maybe I need to be kinder to myself just in case I am. And so a changed mood was noted amongst the monks, and some students who were travelling happened to be camping in the grounds, and they noticed this very particular and lovely way of being amongst the monks. This kind of thoughtfulness and respectfulness for each and every member, including themselves. And when they went back to their town, they told people about this, and people were quite intrigued to go and experience the feeling of what it felt like to be surrounded by people who were kind to one another and deeply kind to themselves. And so, over the year, more and more people visited, and some stayed longer, and the monastery began to become known as this place where people not only considered the value of everyone else, but also paid attention to being kind to themselves. And so as you think about whatever it is that for you've learnt now, recently, or in the coming days and weeks, that allow you to reset and recognise whatever it is for you that's important in your understanding of how you can apply this important learning for yourself. And so I'd like you to slowly bring yourselves back to now, but with a new sense of who you are and what's possible for you. Because of course, we have so much within us. You may remember there's a really nice definition of coaching which I use, which is coaching is all about helping people to perform at their best. And your performance is a little equation, which is your potential, what you could be, your fullest you, minus subtracting your interference, so how you get in the way of you being your best you. And your best you doesn't necessarily mean your perfect you or the most doing you, busy. It means about you, when we're coming back to what we said about the lightning process, living a life that's enhancing for you and the people around you, whatever that means for you. Now, if you're interested in learning more about this, I will be doing another seminar next week, same time. So you can let me know, leave comments both here and on my page generally, or send us emails, phil@philparker.org. and ask some questions that will help us focus on what's important for you. I hope you found this useful today. Looking at your unconscious mind, looking at or changing your voices so they support you. If you're also interested in doing a bit more work, then you may know we've got a new version of an existing course, a brilliant course called the Life Skills course, which I know some of you guys have done, which is online. The first unit of it, the first hour, is completely free, so check that out. If you want to know where it is, then ask me, but it's, if you go to Facebook.com/groups/free NLP, you can find it. And if you want to do that, then I'd really recommend it. I'm going to put a slide up right at the end. I'll show you how you can get more information about doing the whole course. Or if you want to learn to do what I'm doing, which some of you guys are actually quite skilled at because I've trained you. But if you want to learn how to do this, then we do training courses on that too. So if those are things you'd like to do, then do get in touch, because one of the reasons I can do all these things for free is because people buy some of these courses. So if you want to help out these free things for everyone else, then that's another way to contribute. Great to see you all. Michelle's just come on a bit late. I don't know, maybe she's in a different country. She wants to know how the LP helps chronic fatigue. Maybe we'll talk about that next time. Zena likes monk and rabbi story. Good, especially for you, Zena. You take care of yourselves. If you are, you're probably not going out, you're probably not driving, but if you are, after a calming session like that, give yourself a bit of time just to kind of come back to the room. But reflect on this. You can always re-listen to that. Each time you do, it will help you to remind yourself about, you do know stuff inside. You're central, absolutely central to everything that I teach, and the kind of core to pretty much every bit of work I do is that you do already know. You do already know more about you, more about your life, what you want, where you're going, than anybody else could. You're the person best place to do that. So trust yourself, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining, and please share this widely. The more people that see this, incredible free resource helped by your questions and comments. So please do share it. Let's see if we can get this up to 3,000 or 4,000 next week, and see you guys around. You take care now. Bye.